Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. I'm Mark, this is Spiguyver Backpacking. And I know, it has been a while. So I just posted, it went up today, the HangCon video. And with that, I had mentioned that it's been a long time. I have not been, feeling up to it. Things have been going on. Everyone knows that I had rhabdo late last year. Since then, I just kind of have been not doing great. I mean, I ended up getting sick. I had the flu and was down for like a month with the flu. I did 2 short trips and had GoPro issues, and so I've got a lot that I need to get out and do. And so I wanted to come on here and talk with you guys about what's coming up, what are in the plans, and what are some things that you can expect to see on the channel coming up in the short term. So why don't we get into that? Let's talk about what's going on. Okay, so let's start with just kind of talking about what's been going on. So like I said, I've been sick, traveling back and forth to Oklahoma to be with my family, and then back here for work. And so I just haven't been up to doing too much. But even when I was feeling up to doing something, I went out and I did 2 trips, and on both trips I had issues with the GoPro. Now anyone who's had the GoPro or had any GoPro for the last, 7-8 years, you know that there have been some inherent flaws with that camera. And I've kind of overlooked some of those flaws because, well, it's lightweight, it's weatherproof, it's easy, and I've kind of been comfortable with it. And I haven't had any big issues. Battery issues have been one that's kind of driven me a little bit nuts, but I've overcome all of those. However, the last couple of trips, there were 2 things, or 2 times that I had issues that I can't overlook. So I went out on a trip and just a quick overnighter. Both of them were just quick overnighters. Both of them were actually to the same general location, back up into Harriman. But took the GoPro out, filmed, got some good shots, thought I had set some things up good, and talked about some gear. So one of the things, I was getting out on a trip and actually showing the Townsend Just a Bridge that I had in kind of winterish type weather, kind of talking through that. I put the bug net on it. I kind of showed a whole bunch with that one. Got home, went to edit, and when I put the card into my computer, it said that there were no files detected. I put it back into the GoPro and it read SD card error. So I'm not exactly sure what was going on. I thought that maybe I had a bad SD card, so I bought a new SD card. Put it in, went out on the next trip, and I checked midway through to make sure that I was, I would say midway through. I checked on the first day. At the time, I think I had 6 clips recorded, so pretty early on, and the 6 clips were all there. I could play them, everything was good. So I thought the problem was resolved. Got to the end of the trip, and I remember at one point seeing that I had 67 clips, which isn't a lot for a trip. I mean, with all the B-roll stuff that I do, the close-in shots and things like that, 67 is not a whole lot for a weekend. But there was nothing there again. I had an SD card error on the GoPro, and for whatever reason, even the 6 that I had checked were no longer on there. I do not know what is going on there, but that was the last straw. Around the same time, some videos were coming out with releases of new cameras. There were, the new DJI was out, and the Action 4, I believe, and it was being compared against the new is it 12? I think it's the Hero 12 from GoPro. And there wasn't a big difference there. There wasn't anything really with the DJI, and actually the video didn't look quite as good to me. And so I was kind of holding off. I wasn't sure what to do at that point. I was again looking at going back to like a Sony and taking that out, but I really didn't want to go back to that weight. And then this one showed up on scene, and this is the Insta360 Ace Pro. And what's nice is, unlike GoPros, where you have the thumb screw that you've got to remove every time you want to take the camera off, this one has the magnetic and clip. And so real easy, you just line it up, click it down, and then when you want to take it off, it's on there, because it's not just, it's got the magnetic piece to kind of align it, but then it's got little teeth that grab, and that's why you squeeze both sides and it pops off. But what I like about this one is that it has a bigger sensor than the GoPro, and so it's better for low light, and it has the flip up screen, so you've got a full size screen when you're recording yourself doing any vlog type content. So I like that. And now the weekend out at HangCon was the first time I'd broken that out. That was the first video I've done with it, and so far I really like it. Now I've got other gear sitting here on this table that I need to review. First off, I've got the new iPhone 15 Pro Max, and the reason that I upgraded to that was for the satellite communication feature that's on there, and being able to, I got rid of my Garmin Mini. I hated that thing, and so I was going to use this when I had a company reach out to me and sent me the Motorola Defy. And so this is a satellite communication device, and I will get much more into its capabilities and everything when we do a video on this one. But I will be taking that out. I'll be activating it and taking it out on all my trips throughout the year. Fire Maple reached out to me, asked if there were any of their products I'd like to review, and since we're getting into winter, I wanted to go with their Blade 2 Titanium. It's got the preheat tube so that you can liquefy the gas. You know, you invert the propane, or the canister, propane butane mix, whatever, invert it, liquid will go in here, it'll get gasified by the preheater, and so you can go a lot colder than you can with a normal screw on top canister stove. And because I was reviewing that, they actually wanted to send me their Sunflower, which is a gas camping stove. Still uses the same canisters, but it's got a really cool different heating element, which can also be used as a space heater. So that's really cool, and something that we will be trying out. So I had a little issue happen at HangCon, and because of that, I walked away with a new tarp. So I've got a UGQ Winter Dream 12-foot with the doors with snaps, again in charcoal gray, that I will be setting up and using going forward for some of my trips. I've got a 2-speed hammocks tarp sleeve. So a new tarp sleeve to go along with that. And so that's so that I can have all my tarps in their own sleeves and be able to really quickly change out setups. And then anyone who watched the HangCon footage saw the Majestic hammock that I was talking about. And so now I have a Majestic hammock in my possession, along with their suspension system, that we will be taking out and getting tested. Yes, Spiguyver is going to be back in a gathered end, at least for a little while, to see how this works out. Fingers crossed. I'm actually really hopeful that this might be a gathered end that I can actually go back to sleeping in. So we will see. As far as trips and adventures, I've had a couple of people ask me about joining up with them to go and do certain trips. Maybe I'll end up in, you know, the Upper Peninsula of Michigan doing something out on like Manitou Island or something crazy like that. Or maybe I'll go back and get that rim to rim to rim in the Grand Canyon and try to not have Rhabdo come back and bite me and pull a Dan Becker out there. Or, you know, maybe I will end up heading back to do the Tahoe Rim Trail again. I don't know. I don't know what is in store for this year. I am going to pace myself, get out on some overnighters next weekend. I'm going to get out for a 2-day, just a 2-day, see how I'm feeling, make sure that I'm staying really hydrated and paying attention to my body, and slowly work myself back up to getting into some tougher hikes and doing a little bit more out there. But I've got a lot of gear, and I've actually got some other pieces, but because we're getting into winter, some of those pieces are gonna have to wait until spring and summer before they come out and get tested, because it's just not what we're gonna be doing. And also, I will probably be reaching out to Don at Jacks Are Better and getting one of those alpha liners that I had him talk about on the video. You know, I've had enough time looking at them and seeing them to think that, you know, maybe that's a good addition just to boost the temperature ratings of some of my quilts, especially going into winter. And like I talked about, if you ever get into that nylon and it's just cold, something like that to kind of have a nice soft feel against you, it's a whole lot better than getting into that cold nylon at night. All right, I think that was all I wanted to kind of hit on tonight. But if you have any questions, any comments, leave them down below and I will get to them. And again, I apologize. I'm sorry that I've been gone for so long. Life, sickness, just not feeling great, and then GoPro issues have kept me from being able to put things out to you guys. But that's gonna change. We've got a new camera. This one's gonna be more reliable, at least it better be. If not, we're going straight to the phone and we're just doing iPhone videos from now on, because, you know, I've seen a lot of people do that and some of them are pretty darn nice. I saw a guy do a complete like 5-day trip just on his iPhone and the footage really looked incredible. I will most likely be looking at maybe moving to a new editing software, so something that I can probably play around with animations and doing some other things a little bit more. You know, when I was back in Oklahoma, my youngest son has gotten into disc golf, and so I've kind of picked it up. And you know, even when we were at HangCon, Corey from Majestic and me and a couple of other guys, we went out and played a round of disc golf, and quite frankly at this point I really suck, but practice makes perfect, or less sucky, I guess. And so I am looking forward to keeping that up, and I don't know, maybe that's something I could do a couple of videos on if anyone's interested in that. Just kind of showing progression as an older guy with health issues and bum shoulders. How do I get out there and do it? Because I will tell you that as you get older, the aches start to come, and you go out with your son and you think that you're invincible and you can do anything he can do, and then the next day your body says, psych. So anyway, all right, enough on the tangent. All right, I appreciate you guys checking this out, and yeah, 2024 is going to be a better year. I hope it's going to be a better year for you as well, and I will see you guys down the trail.